Guys, come on. You know what really just grinds my gears is terrible, crappy sex advice that does nothing. Doesn't help you at all, okay? I'm sick of it. Hi guys, my name is Alex, and today I'm going over the worst sex advice that exists on the internet. If you come across this advice, turn the other way, get out of there, don't listen to it, and yeah. So, what is the worst sex advice on the internet? Anything that is telling you that you need to do a certain position, a certain physical technique, you have to finger her this way, you have to come in at the right angle, you have to use your tongue this way, you have to, do this position to last longer, do this position because it's more physically stimulating. Listen, take your protractors and toss them, okay? You don't need them. Sex isn't about measuring angles and going in at the right trajectory and having the perfect speed and rhythm and creating all these crazy physical things. Sex is about connecting with someone, not about doing crazy things to their private parts. Trust me, if you connect with someone, then the physical part isn't going to matter that much. If your partner is invested in the experience and they're mentally present and they're engaged in the experience, then what you do physically, what angle you come at, what speed and velocity you come at, it's not going to matter that much. Sex is so much more about the psychological stimulation than the physical stimulation. So you can forget all of these weird physical techniques. You don't have to be in a crazy position. You have to stimulate their mind, okay? If you stimulate their mind, you stimulate their body, you win, game over. You want to know why these weird physical techniques work in the short term? Why they might work the first time you try it? I'll tell you why. It's because it's probably something new that you haven't done before. And so what are you doing? You are adding variety into your sex life. What does variety do? Variety is mentally stimulating, okay? If there's something new and exciting in the experience, yeah, your partner is going to be more engaged, more present. They're going to be like, whoa, where did this come from? They're going to enjoy it because there's that exciting novelty aspect to it. The sex isn't good because there's this new physical technique. The sex is good because they're present because of this new stimulus that they're receiving. So if you're browsing the internet and you're coming across all these sex advice videos where they're saying you need to master this technique for this part of sex, you need to master this kissing technique, you need to master this sex technique, these positions, you need to master your touch and your level of touch and your speed and your velocity, like I said before. Sex is not a math equation, okay? You don't need a protractor and a calculator to have sex. You need a connection to someone, you need to talk to someone, you need to communicate, express yourself, make sure they're in the moment, make sure you're in the moment. Be passionate about the experience, lose yourself, just go crazy and be yourself in that moment. The more physical techniques and tricks and all these things that they're trying to tell you that you must do, all they're doing is they're clouding your brain. They're making you more insecure probably because you're thinking, I don't know if I can pull off this crazy technique where I have to do a backflip into my partner's pussy. With basic physical technique, nothing special, nothing out of the ordinary, you can have incredible sexual experiences, trust me, as long as there is a powerful psychological component to it. If your partner is turned on and they're aroused and they're excited and they're anticipating this great sex and there's this build up and you've communicated and there's this openness and you're not judging each other and you're free to express yourself and they can just lose themselves to that moment and just be there and just be so totally into it. Those are the best experiences, and trust me, the physical part is not what they're going to remember about it. They're not going to remember, oh yeah, when you did that crazy, weird physical technique, that was the best part. No, your partner is thinking, yeah, it was so good because it was passionate, and I lost myself in that moment, and I was free to just be myself and lose control. Trust me, if you're in a sexual relationship that relies on physical stimulation over the psychological part, then your sex isn't as good as it could be. Sorry. If you're doing nothing to stimulate your partner mentally and keep them engaged and psychologically stimulated, then your sex is lacking. It's lacking that component. Sex is about connection. It is about the psychological part of it. It is about creating this human bond, this human connection. It's such a unique experience that to be so connected to someone. And trust me, if you want to try these crazy physical techniques and you have the psychological stimulation to back it up, they're all gonna work. It doesn't matter that much. Anyway, stop listening to crazy, bad advice that is telling you that you need to be this physical presence that is doing all the right things physically. If you get to know your partner and you learn how to turn them on, what keeps them in the moment, what keeps them in the experience, you can be present and you come across as non-judgmental so that they can just shed any insecurities they have and just be themselves in that moment. That is what makes good sex. It is not piecing together these physical tips and tricks. It is not that. It is about connecting with someone on a deep psychological level. Anyway, if you want more tips without all the BS, without having to measure the angle at which your body is touching theirs and if you want real sex advice, not this BS that maybe works the first time and just clouds your brain and you're thinking I have to do all these things and you're making sex this long math formula. Keep the math in school, not the bedroom. Subscribe for amazing sex tips by me. No, but seriously, I'm here to help you. I want to create this different way we think about sex. It's so physically dominant out there in the internet tip world, and I want to change that. So subscribe if you like this video, if you like this message. Thanks for watching, and hopefully I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.